What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in for the weekly reset for the 24th of October, and we're slowly moving towards the end of Season 22, but of course, Festival of the Lost continues this week. And so with the vendor reset, we'll check out the Eververse store, hopefully we'll get some cool festival items, plus we'll round up other vendors in the game as always, with featured weapons, shaders, and some of the key rewards for the week. Plus, this week we also get another hotfix for the game. It seems like we're pretty much getting hotfixes on a weekly basis at this point, so we'll do our best to cover all of the changes there, and then as always, some of the activity stuff for the week. So if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a rating below and get subscribed for more Destiny content. But now, without further delay, let's jump into it. And so, initially, of course, Festival is still live, so if you're working on picking up any of the weapons, the armor, or the triumphs, then we've still got a couple of weeks to work towards all of that stuff. So let us know if you're still playing Festival content down in the comment section. Next up though, a quick mention for some patch notes here, mainly with a couple of fixes, but for activities, they fixed an issue where the proc rate calculation of the number of active cards for Deck of Whispers Liminal card was incorrect. On top of that, another issue where Deck of Whispers Liminal card Arc and Lacuna card Void could trigger effects for other players. Then in the Embargo mission, they fixed an issue where dialogue would not play after solving a navigation puzzle, and the navigation puzzle can be replayed to hear dialogue missed in the first playthrough, so that's good. Then we get to events, and they fixed an issue where the ship Nixpteron, if that's how you say it, which is earned from the Bookworm 3 event challenge, wasn't available in collections once acquired. I probably butchered that name. But another issue where Lightfall campaign checkpoints could be used to gain more spectral pages than intended, quickly and repeatedly, so no more spectral page farming inside of the mission. Plus they fixed a problem where event challenge Heads Will Roll would only progress by defeating headless ones in Legend Haunted sectors. And they revised the Festival of the Lost event card pop-up to note that the event offers a title rather than a seal. So a couple of changes there for Festival, but finally, they revised an animation causing flickering on the Deck of Whispers in the helm on certain platforms. So there we go for the quick patch changes today. Next up though, as we get into the game, we can see there is additional Valor for the take-in this week, so if you fancy ranking up in the Crucible, it's a good time to jump in. And otherwise, let's check out the Eververse store for the week. So we'll focus on Bright Dust items right here. We should get a few things from Festival. Initially, we've got the Lunar Roar exotic emote for 3,250 Bright Dust, a pretty cool one right there to add to collections. We also have the Retrograde Tora exotic ship right here available for 2,000 Bright Dust this week. Looks kind of like a van right there. Let us know your thoughts about it down below. Additionally though, there is the reanimated entrance available for 450 Bright Dust, and then we get the shaders. Firstly, there is Angel's Gleam right here from Festival, which is rather garish. On top of that though, we've got the reanimated Verve shader available as well. Both of these, as always, cost 300 Bright Dust. And moving over to the main Bright Dust section, actually pretty good in terms of Festival stuff. So initially there is the Gourd Summoner exotic emote right there, a rather curious looking thing with some pumpkins going on. That one's 3,250 Bright Dust. We also have the No Escape legendary emote right here available this week for 700 Bright Dust. And there's the Spinneret Shell, I think that's a new one for this year. This one's 2,850 Bright Dust, pretty cool looking thing for sure, so it may be worth picking that one up. Also, the Extraterrestrial Vehicle exotic ship is available for 2,000 as well. That's definitely a new one for this year, which is actually a pretty cool thing, UFO style, so let me know if you're going to grab that. And then we've got the Stygian Steed, exotic Sparrow, available for 2,500 Bright Dust. Nearly said that one wrong. This is actually a pretty awesome looking Sparrow, in my opinion. Something I'm certainly going to grab in a moment. But then there is the Promethean Prelude exotic weapon ornament for the Grand Overture, which is 1,250 Bright Dust. That does return from last year, but nonetheless, it's a pretty cool one for Grand Overture right there. And then we have the Pumpkin projection for 1,500 Bright Dust if you want the pumpkin action going on once again. But for the second page flare right here, we've got Basalt Toxic shader, if I'm saying that correctly, from Festival of the Lost. Once again, all of these are 300 Bright Dust. This is the shader that I never even attempt to say the name of, but pretty cool purple shader from back in Forsaken. And then we've got the Chrome Stock shader available here this week as well. Plus the Nougat Delight, which is another Festival one to perhaps add to collections right there. But finally, for Transmat effects, we've got the Arachnophile available for 450 Bright Dust. Take another preview of that one. Reanimated entrance, which was on the front page as well. And then on top of that, there is the Batwing entrance available this week. So let us know if you're going to pick anything up from the Eververse store down in the comment section. And now heading over to Banshee right here, the Gunsmith available this week in terms of legendary weapons. We've got the Whispering Slab combat bow with Hipfire Grip and Demolitionist. There's also the Shattered Cipher with Tunnel Vision and Surrounded. Then the Staccato 46 with Outlaw and Incandescent, which might be a little bit of fun right there, not a bad roll by any means. Also, Escape Velocity with Threat Detector and Vorpal Weapon. Then we've got the Widow's Bite with Pulse Monitor and Eye of the Storm, but for the second page, we've got an NEOD with Feeding Frenzy and Rampage, which isn't bad either. There's also the Orvandale FR6 Fusion Rifle, which has got Slideways Demolitionist, and the Funnel Web with Steady Hands Adrenaline Junkie, plus we've got Harsh Language with Envious Assassin and Disruption Break right there, as well as the Palmyra B rocket launcher with Surplus Chill Clip, and finally Nazreddin Sword right here on Titans with Wellspring and Whirling Blade. But potentially right there, a couple of weapons worth picking up, so definitely be sure to visit Banshee and grab those, as some of the items and the rolls will change throughout the course of the week. Finally down here at Shader 1 though, it's got various different armor pieces available this week, so worth checking in if you want to add, I believe, some Forsaken armor pieces to collections right there. On top of that though, for shaders, we've got the New Age Black Armory. Once again, these shaders are 10,000 Glimmer at Shader 1 down here in the annex, but a cool one from Black Armory right there. There's also the Arctic Dreamscape shader available this week. And finally, we've got the new Monarchy Allegiance if you need to add the older faction shader to your collections right there. But for other activity content, the Exotic Mission Rotator this week rolls around to Presage, so if you happen to still be working on picking up Dead Man's Tale and crafting that, it's still an option this week, but we've got other farmable exotics as well in the Deepstone Crypt. Eyes of Tomorrow will be farmable from the final encounter, with it being the featured raid, as will all of the raid weapons, so it could be a pretty good time to jump into that too. But the final mention for activity content is for the featured Lost Sectors this week, and so for today we've got Bay of Drowned Wishes dropping exotic arms. October 25th will see Vel's Labyrinth dropping chest pieces, and then for the 26th we've got Exodus Garden 2A dropping helmets. Sepulture will be featured on the 27th dropping exotic legs, and then we'll see Extraction on the 28th dropping exotic gauntlets. Metamorphosis on the 29th dropping exotic chest pieces, and finally for Monday 30th of October, it'll be K1 Revelation dropping exotic helmets. So hopefully that's useful if you are still hunting down any exotics. Of course, that's primarily for newer stuff more than likely, as there are also exotic focusing options in Festival of the Lost, so plenty of chances to pick up exotics in the game at the moment. But otherwise, for today, that's the video. So as always, I hope you found this one useful, and if you have, a rating below really does help us out on the channel. Also get subscribed if you're new and you want to be kept up to date with more Destiny content. But otherwise, I appreciate you tuning in as always, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.